the Ponycast live.
Yep.
We've been on hiatus. We are lost at sea, floating in the water. We were stranded on the island of misplaced boys, but now we are, I don't know, in the water or something. I am your host, Starboard Bow, and this is my good pal, Give and Take, here in our human OCs.
Yeah, we thought live action would be, in some strange way.
In some stupid way.
We decided to up the production of this and create, like, CG models of us.
Yeah.
To show to you.
These Muppets that we have created of humans for some reason. Well, as I stated, the show has been on hiatus. There hasn't been a Ponycast in some months. I've been traveling the earth, having a spirit journey, getting lost at sea.
Yep.
And the reason that we're doing this now is because I just happened to catch a recent My Little Pony episode on TV that I had not seen yet. Because I had fallen so behind on actually watching the show, there is now a whole season of episodes that I can just catch on TV, which is a new experience for me, because back in the day, you just watched every episode on the internet as they came out.
We were so hungry for that pony, for that sweet pony puss, that we couldn't wait a single second. But yeah, I had seen this episode.
Yeah, and you'd been telling me about it for a couple weeks, for months, that they did this episode kind of calling out brony culture and making fun of, like, the brony analysis people that we had always sort of been a part of, but also sort of hated.
Yeah.
And you said, whenever you're ready to come back to do the show, we got to talk about this episode, because it was the next episode anyways. And it just so happened that I was on my spirit journey, traveling the earth, and I happened to be in front of a TV flipping channels, and I ended up on this episode as I was imbibing of some holistic reptile venom. That's a way of saying I had eaten some cookies that were laced with something. And this episode came on, and I lost my fucking mind. In a bad way. It sent me down an existential spiral into oblivion. I started reflecting on the absurdity of my life and my career, and, like, seeing my entire life laid before my eyes and all of its cosmic horror of how, like, I'll make videos on the internet, and I'll be like how I wanted to be like an angry video game nerd ripoff and just make people laugh and talk about games. And then I got sucked into, like, that guy with the glasses forum culture, and then I got sucked into, like, the My Little Pony thing for 2 years, and then I became this weird, like, meta satirist that nobody got and nobody ever understood what I was saying. And then all this other stuff happened, and it was all a nightmare. And I was, like, sitting there losing my mind, being confronted with this My Little Pony episode where it was, like, reaffirming all the things that I had said years ago as a My Little Pony guy that no one ever listened to.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I had, like, fallen into that trap as well. Like, it is kind of a trap, like, taking things to, like, a critical extreme when you should just be having fun. Because I like the angry video game nerd, and I like, when I was young, I didn't really get it as much as I do now. I thought it was just, it's funny to be mad at something. Like, it's funny to tear something apart and rip into it and get to the meat and the, like, exactly why, like molecular levels of exactly what it is. And this episode is about shut up.
Yeah, the episode is about, like, yeah, shut up. That's the whole episode.
It was really cool.
They sing a song at the end where the song is literally shut up, bronies. Basically,
it's well, let's go through the what happens. I think it starts off with some OC fillies who are I feel like obviously designed by somebody's kids, which is like when I first saw it, I thought, like one of the two sisters, one of them's older than the other, and the younger one doesn't know how to design characters as well. And, like, I had that thought, but thematically, them being, like, designed by real young people is, like, why that, like, they come back later, and it's, like, really cool. And they are, like, fighting, and Twilight is, like, she sees them and she says, you know what? I'll solve your friendship problem, because it's a baby friendship problem, and I can do that. I'm the princess of friendship. I'm good at that now. So she does it, and then at some point, I forget exactly how,
She solves it. She solves their friendship problem really quickly because it is a dumb baby problem, and those two characters are like fighting again later in the episode, so they didn't really solve it. But for the purposes of the episode, Twilight realized that maybe her friendship lessons can help other people and other ponies.
Yeah, and she decides to make a book so that all their friendship lessons that they've written throughout the series, and put them in a book and then give it to people so they don't have to keep telling them.
So it basically becomes all the adventures that they have had all over the course of all these seasons have now been published for everyone to read, and so now the main six, I mean, I'm assuming they were already known. You know, they've alluded to the fact that they are known ponies before, but now they're like big celebrities, and everyone in the universe now knows the lore of the main six as friends, which might be the origin of T-Bap, now that I think about it, because they are in canon, a part of the universe.
I mean, we are as well.
So are we. So now, if you've ever wondered how all of these actual pony OCs, who are real ponies in the universe, Analysis Bronies, we're all canon now. We are officially part of the canon. It's not just people making up ponies in YouTube videos. This is the real shit. We are really a part of the universe now, officially.
Yep.
It all makes sense.
Digi has done a bad thing. Oh man. So the idea, the crux of the episode is that the book is great and everybody loves it, but they love it wrong.
Yeah.
They love it for the wrong reasons.
They are missing the forest for the trees. They are not understanding the broader morality of these lessons that Twilight is trying to give the world, and instead they're getting bogged down in like picking favorites of the main six and nitpicking and all the stuff that we've always criticized the Brony analysis people for doing. And some of the lines in this episode, as it gets specific into it, are so like on the nose of exactly the kind of thing that I always felt like I was dealing with when I was doing my review series. Like the part where I'm jumping ahead, but they all, like, as the ponies are confronted with other people's perceptions of them and other people arguing and nitpicking their flaws and their friendship lessons, there's one part where Fluttershy is confronted by the droves of people saying, why does Fluttershy learn the same lesson over and over again? And Fluttershy goes into this rant where she goes, look, I am more assertive. It took me a while to get here, but can any of you honestly say that you've changed yourselves overnight? But the way that Fluttershy was saying it and wording it, it was like verbatim from my Horseshoe Reviews Fluttershy video. And there were a couple of examples like that. Like, I feel like that and like the two I did of like just the characters analysis videos. I mean, I am taking credit for being smarter than everyone and for having said these things, because I said these things years ago and nobody listened to me. And now the show is officially vindicating me finally, and I'm never going to let that go. I am vindicated. The actual show has had the character, the real Fluttershy, has come out and flat out said, remember drowning in horseshoes? He was right. He was right all along. And I win. I just win. For once in my life, oh God, have I needed a win. And I won. You were all wrong. I was right all along. I didn't learn anything. I was right all along. Take that. I was right about Fluttershy. I was right about everything. The song at the end, the whole moral of the song being like, hey, these characters aren't perfect. That's the point. Our flaws are what make us fun to watch and unique and good. I said that in every video I ever made for this pissant fandom. I was right. You all owe me an apology. You owe me so many apologies.
You did it.
I did it.
It was really
drowning in horseshoes just came back for 1 minute to tell you all, suck it.
It was really cool the first time I watched that, because I loved those videos of yours where like everybody else, including myself, was just sort of like reviewing the show just to tell people whether they liked it, and there was nothing more to it. You would go into like, well, you see, it's just fun. It's a fun show, and you are weird, and I mean, I'm weird, but like you're weird, you know. Like you're taking it wrong. You're taking it to an extreme. Like all the ponies in this episode, or read these books, they, you know, oh god, there's so many parallels that they're bringing to like bronies in general. Just the fact that everybody who is like going crazy about these things and taking it wrong are adult ponies.
Yeah.
And when like they laugh at absolutely everything Pinkie Pie says, even when she tells them she's not trying to be funny.
Picking favorites and saying that some of them aren't as good as the others, or like ripping out all of Twilight's lessons because they only liked Rainbow Dash's lessons.
Yeah, like it's just.
And that's something like that we specifically, as a group of friends and like YouTubers or whatever, have dealt with. Like when we've done the PCP episodes, and people like we always get those comments of like, Digi sucks, or this guy sucks, or this is my favorite, these two guys are my favorite, everyone else in the group sucks, and they like list all these dumb bullshit reasons why some of us are good but some of us are really bad. And it's like, you realize we are all friends, we like each other for a reason. None of us think that any of us are bad people.
Yeah, I'm like there's a couple ways to take the lesson in this, which is like creative people.
Yeah, it's like
people,
there were a couple lessons.
There's like creative people have to deal, like the people who make the show have to deal with these annoying bronies a lot of the time. But people like us as well, who are like just, you know, anybody who is creative can relate to this.
Yeah. It's very analogous to what we do and like being YouTubers, I guess. When like. Yeah. They're just they're saying like to Twilight or to Rainbow Dash we don't like Twilight, or to Twilight we don't like Rarity, and it's like nobody wants to hear stupid bullshit about their fucking friends. Like, that's my friend you're talking about, and you're missing the point. The point being, we are friends.
You're missing the fact that I would be upset if somebody made fun of you.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's that level of separation where they don't think that they're real people. Of course, in the My Little Pony show, they aren't real people, but they're written by real people. And
Twilight says that, like they're nitpicking like the pony's core personalities and like spewing all this dribble and bullshit. And Twilight says, "We are real people. These things happen to us.
Yeah,
we're not something to be hated or picked apart in this way."
Because like writers and like people on the show have been criticized in the same way, like for just episodes they've written. Like, not everybody writes perfect episodes all the time.
Yeah,
and it's just this lack of empathy, this lack of like human, like, you know, what the bronies. Yeah, the bronies have the autism mostly.
It is.
It is a lack of like understanding of stuff.
You always try to beat around the word, but you just can't. It's autism, and this episode is about autism.
It is about autism. I love the fact that at the end it's like, well, you can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't fight autism. That's. Like, people,
it's the most powerful.
The moral is the moral of the episode in the end, because they sing this song and they try to get them to listen, and the people just don't listen at the end, and that's kind of like the sad moral is that like people are just shit. You can't tell them anything. They're horrible, and but the twist at the end was that the two little girl ponies came out and they had actually learned something.
Yeah.
The actual target demographic, which is in the end all that matters.
Yeah, all that matters is it was a show. Like, there was a brony thing that was going along for a long time where it was made like by Lauren Faust for families. Like, she made it so that kids could watch it, but the parents could be entertained and not want to kill themselves. But they're missing the point by they sort of twisted that into saying it's for adults as well. It's not really for adults. It's just nice. It's just a nice thing. Yeah. It's just a nice thing that you can have a little bit of fun with, and it's mostly for the kids. And at the end, the filly ponies, the little kids, the ones that look like they were designed by actual children, are the ones that actually like get something out of the book. And it's just the show saying, "You're." Shut up. It
kind of reminded me of when I learned that actual lesson, because here's a little story of like back in our days in the pony fandom. Like, none of us got I Love Kim Possible a lot. Like, I always like her videos are very very like spastic and like memey and just jokes. And
we would attack her for like not being good at analysis.
Well, like
which is stupid.
not really attack her, but I did kind of spew a lot of shit in general at everyone, and we were kind of up our own asses about it because we were good at it. But for the longest time, I didn't get I Love Kim Possible a lot. I didn't get the appeal of her videos until one of the years we were at BronyCon, and I just kind of, because I tend to wander off from the group and go on my own little adventures, and I ended up spending most of the day with KP, and we just walked around, and like I got to see the difference in the people who came up to her versus the people who came up to me. Like all of the creepy, the neckbeardy bronies would come up to me, which is fine. I love my fans. I'm not saying you're bad, but like the adult fans would come up to us and be like, "We like you guys. Sign this and fucking take a picture with us." But when I was hanging out with KP, all the little children at the convention were all coming up to her, and like she is beloved by the actual target demographic.
Yeah.
And I saw them, and I saw like the happiness that she was giving to actual young children, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It was I mean, it has been like a big thing, like certain brony analysis people aren't smart enough, or like their content isn't good. I mean, her content is great.
Yeah, for what it is.
For what she's doing.
She is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. And there's criticisms, whatever. It's just the idea and the point is that she is providing a more pure service.
Yeah. She's easily the most important and best and only actual good My Little Pony review channel besides the Pony Cast. I would hope to say.
Yeah, this is like.
We try to be wholesome on this show.
We try to be wholesome and sensible.
We try to aspire to an I Love Kim Possible a lot level.
That's where we're sailing this whole time.
Yeah.
We're trying to find KP.
We're trying to find KP. We need to get her on the show. She was right all along. She didn't learn anything. She was right all along just like me, but in a different way. Yeah. It always used to annoy me a lot watching like the other brony analysis people, because it always seemed to me like so many of them were like, they had the tism, kind of. They were missing the forest for the trees of the show, and they were nitpicking things that should not be nitpicked, and they were like holding the characters to these like weirdly ridiculous standards that wouldn't even apply to real people. Like, oh, Fluttershy already learned this lesson. She should be like a totally different character now. And like, she really shouldn't. That's not how people learn. People learn things slowly.
They have that one
baby steps.
Baby steps.
She says the episode. And that stuff always annoyed me because it felt really aspy to me. I forgot where I was going with that. It just feels like I'm shitting on bronies again, and I try not to.
Well, I feel like there's some criticism I can have of myself, because like I went into like My Little Pony analysis just because other people were doing it and I thought it would be fun, and I never really thought about what I was doing. I just sort of like, I did all the things that are like stupid and spurgy and aspy, and like I nitpicked the characters. I said flanderization once. I said non-diegetic. I made that a fucking thing, I feel. Like Silverquill said, I said it, and then Silverquill said it, and then it became a fucking non-diet. It was terrible. It's like the, but I learned. Like I learned what I was doing, and realizing that it wasn't that, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like watching your videos especially was just like, oh yeah, I guess it is just a fun show. And then from there, it's like criticism and analysis has become less important for like me to like explain for other people, and more just to explain for myself. Like why do I like this thing?
Yeah.
Like there's that one video I made, like, why do I like Diamond Tiara? I didn't really understand it. I was just like, I was drawn to it.
It's kind of like a mental exercise.
Yeah, and that's what like my analysis has been post Pony, is just that I just want to know why I think the way I do, and not necessarily to critique things to find out which is the fucking best of the top 10 list.
And I think a lot of brony analysts, they accept and they know that the show is good and they like the show, so they try to nitpick it and criticize it as intensely as they can from the perspective of it being a good show and being held to this great standard, but somehow in doing so, you forget the point, which is that it is a good show.
Yeah.
It's a really good kids show. And, like, it's kind of like, not that the episode-to-episode writing has gotten better, but because it's been good for so long, in season 7, it's just compounded on itself. Like, it's, when you take a step back and look at My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, without the context of bronies and without anything, it's amazingly good. Like, how much lore and complexity is now implemented into this grand universe of Equestria.
Yeah, like, the reason it got big, I'm sure, is because who would have thought that a fucking My Little Pony...
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. Well, this is still recording.
Okay.
Change the battery pack.
Change that battery.
Fuck. We died.
We died.
We died, and now we're in the void.
We're in the fucking rift. It finally happened. No!
We're our pony selves again. Yeah.
Well, do we keep going?
Yeah.
What was I fucking saying
Something.
just now? Oh, okay. It's amazing and cool how the lore is built on itself, and there's now this show with like 7 seasons of history that is all like the fact that like a dumb minor shit ass kind of antagonist villain character in like the first season, like Trixie, is now like a main character.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and the fact that like there like more new characters, like Starlight is now a main character, and they all have they've like the main 6 characters have all grown and evolved in tiny little ways, and you can like feel the history of how the characters are not quite the same as they were when it started. And in addition to that, you've had new characters coming in every season who are also growing and changing, and it's just cool shit. And I like Starlight a lot. She's cool.
I wanna rewatch the episodes that we haven't done. The thing about that though is like sometimes there's an episode that just is not that good.
Yeah.
But the thing that we were just talking about is like the criticism and analysis is like the reason people do it so much is because they build a YouTube channel and now they have to do it.
Yeah.
And so if there's an episode that isn't that good, they talk about it, they say it's bad, and then all the stupid idiots who watch the things, they tweet at the writers and say, "You did your bad job."
Every show, especially any successful long-running show, is going to have a smattering of shit episodes and some good episodes, and you can have your favorites and ones that you don't hate, but to just focus on the shit episodes that intently is missing the bigger picture, that the show is good enough to have lasted for 7 years and is still good.
Yeah. I feel like people in general, or ponies in general, now that we're ponies on screen.
Now that we're ponies again.
We're pony OCs, just sitting in the water as exactly the same. Ponies, the pony thing made me forget my point.
Yeah.
They tend towards negative stuff. Like, people like the worst stuff and hearing about it and talking about it.
It's like in Ratatouille when he says at the end, we thrive on negative criticism because it's fun to write and to read.
Yeah, and it's
understandable,
it's
but
understandable,
it's sad.
but you can't like. I don't know. What should we do with the podcast? Should we just review every episode as we have done before?
Yeah, we should bring it back, and we should go week to week.
We should. I definitely want to do season 8. We should start with season 8 because that's about to happen.
Fucking so. When they started singing the song at the end.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, the song.
Oh my god, the song. You brought up a good point how like the characters like what they're saying to us the audience is like, go back and watch season 1 again, you dumb idiots.
Yeah, it was just like
all these things you're complaining about, fuck you.
Yeah, it was like all these things like we have flaws. Do you remember season 1?
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
We liked it. This is our characters. We're not. Shut up.
Yeah,
Shut up.
yeah. We're not flawless. We're work in progress. We got dents and we've got quirks, but it's our flaws that make us work. Yeah, I did it.
I like that song.
And like,
that was good.
this is the point where, as I said, because I was on a holistic reptile venom irradiated in my mind spirit journey from the stuff that I had ingested on my quest, when this song started, because I had been like time traveling through the episode in my brain, and when the song started, because the lyrics were so like on the nose and weird.
Oh my god, it's Keg Standard. What is he doing back there?
No one could see you. The camera broke.
The camera broke and now you're a pony.
The camera ran out of batteries.
Well, it's me, Keg Standard. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Keg Standard, you're here.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
You came in at the best possible time.
Oh, yeah?
'Cause I'm about to tell you the story of how I spiraled into oblivion hearing this fucking incredibly on-the-nose song about the show itself. And I started texting you.
Oh, yeah, right.
With our pony phones.
With our pony phones,
Yes.
mashing my hooves
With our
into
single
the
button.
keyboard.
A single button. Mm-hmm.
Because I was falling through time and I needed an anchor to keep me in check in this world. And I wasn't sure, like, I was not sure if what I was seeing was really happening. Like, everything seemed like a hallucination, and like, the lyrics were so on the nose in this song that it felt like I was writing them myself in my head and seeing them. And I had to, like, confirm that this was happening. So I started texting my good friend Keg Standard, and I said, "Oh my God, tell Gibbo I watching this fucking season 7 pony episode. They are just shredding the fans. They are actually doing it. Oh my God, they killed bronies." Keg says, blah blah blah.
That's about right.
And Keg is talking to me. He's texting me, clearly, slowly realizing that I am not in my right mind.
That's
that
true.
Something has been put into my body.
That's true.
The next text I sent him is, "I am experiencing utter nihilism. I am a god of pain. My tears are stardust on the celestial highway." At which point, Keg says, "Damn, bro, are you Digibro? Because you sound like you are just loving some weed."
Yes.
And I said, that is actually exactly what happened. I ate some cookies laced with irradiated reptile venom, and now I confront the absurd cosmic parody of man's potential that is my life. Oh God, it's true. I am become Digibro, but like a worse Digibro. I'm so embarrassed. And I was literally, like, getting embarrassed texting you, realizing that you could tell that I was fucking out of my mind. And so, at this point, I wrote a memo to myself on my phone over here. And the memo just says, "To myself, I wrote this. Don't tell Nate I'm deeply depressed. I can feel him judging me."
You know, at the time, I felt the depression more than the drug, specifically, you know? If you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was just an existential crisis as opposed to a weed
It was both.
crisis.
The weed made me experience utter nihilism.
Okay.
Because it's not something I do often. I want to make that clear. I am not Digibro. This just happened to be the one time that I imbibed and indulged. And it just so happened that this one time there was a TV in front of me, and this episode I had never seen before of a cartoon that I have so much personal history with that sort of eschewed my actual life into this bizarre direction that I'm still currently on, watching this and realizing like where it all went wrong. And not only that, but that the episode itself is saying things that I had said about the show, and that it was addressing addressing me personally. It was like making me understand time in all of its horrifying glory. And so that's when I texted Nate, "I can see lines of causality emerge from the ether. Free will exists, but those with a weak constitution may lack the willpower to diverge from a set path. It's a hard knock life being made in the image of God."
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
And then because you were here and I was somewhere else, I was off in like another state in the world on this journey before I came here to this place where we all are now. You said... Keg says, same, to be honest.
That's so Keg.
And then he asks, by the way, any update on when you might come to the con? And my answer to my friend trying to get a beat on where the fuck I am and when I'm coming to this so that he can get some work done and actually do something and plan for me, my answer to that question was, I don't know, I'm sad because I spelled causality wrong.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing I texted. After that, I fell through time some more and woke up in the next day as another person. Like I had changed. It altered my entire soul.
You probably shifted from 2nd to 3rd degree consciousness.
I think I did.
Over, the course of that, yeah.
It was some true spirit science going on. Thanks to this amazing episode.
Yes.
It's a good. I'm out.
Wow.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, Cake Standard.
Bye.
Wait.
What?
What happened to T-Bap? Where have you been?
You're gonna find out soon, everybody. Renew your subscriptions and ring that fucking bell!
Oh my god! Max revived T-Bag!
Max revived. Wow.
That was fun.
That was a good.
It was good.
Do you have anything more to say on the episode?
You know, I've been reflecting a lot in the last year on the absurdity of my life. Especially the other day when I watched this episode. And how it all kind of goes back to My Little Pony. That started the descent for me. And now here we come full circle. Me with my pony boys doing a pony show again in the same room, in the same physical space of, I forgot what my point was with that. But the point is, I really love My Little Pony. I really appreciate all of the Brony fans that I made and the Brony friends that I made. I don't know if I've said this before officially, but all the mean, satirical things that Drowning in Horseshoes ever said about the Brony fandom, they were all right and true. Don't get me wrong. I stand by all of it. But I also love all of you. Thank you for being bronies, I guess. Even though it ruined my life. Even though you all ruined my life. Thanks for watching, pals.
Yeah, I can't top that. I agree.
Patreon.com/ponycast. Support this show. I literally, because I'm stupid and I never buy my plane tickets in advance, I buy them the day that I fly out. This trip has cost like $1,000 for me just to come here. My plane ticket to go home is $400. Please God, patreon.com/ponycast. I need it to get this fucking pirate ship back to our lagoon.
Yes, and we need to get back to our crew. All of our crew, if you want to join the crew, by the way, a certain amount of, I forget, $5 or $10.
I don't even remember our rewards because it's been so long.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen. Please join the crew and help us get home.
Yeah, that's the new arc. We're trying to get home.
We're trying to get home. We're shipwrecked. Our crew's in the far background swimming.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.